Hi guys, it's Kales, and I want to talk to you guys about some book friendships. So we all know that in books there are friendships that often develop into romantic relationships, and romance usually gets in the way of friendships in one way or another. And to me, I value friendship in books so much. I love books that are just about people being friends and not having romances, and I really appreciate that. Today I want to talk to you about some of my favorite friendships that I found in books I have read as of late. One of my favorite friendships that develops over the course of the series is that between Kelsey and Mace in The Queen of the Tearling. Kelsey is becoming Queen of the Tearling. She has the sapphire. She's been hidden away for 19 years, and it is her duty to now come back and rule over her kingdom. Mace is the head of her personal guard, and he is kind of like a father figure to her, but at the same time, I don't think that Kelsey thinks of him that way. I will argue that very heavily, that I think they just become good friends that can rely on each other, and there's a certain sense of loyalty there that is fascinating to me, because while he is her guard, they take care of each other, and I really appreciate that in this series. And I love that even though he is older than her, it is still just someone they can rely on, because these are both really damaged, screwed up characters, and you find out more about them over the course of the series. But to me, their friendship is one of the highlights of this book. Then I have to mention two specific friendships in here. One only has like a itty bits of romance in it, but one of my favorites in the Parasol Protectorate series is with Alexa Tarabotti and Miss Hisselpenny. I love their friendship so much. It is just between two women who are so different. And I have friends like that too, that are the complete opposite of me, but we balance each other out just like Alexa and Miss Hisselpenny do. Miss Hisselpenny's kind of flighty and fun and doesn't really think all these things through, and Alexia is very hard and to the point, and it's great how they balance each other out. But at the same time, Alexia and Madame Lafaux is fantastic as well. There's a bit of romance in that one, because Madame Lafaux definitely has a crush on Alexia, and Alexia feels a little bit of something. But she's got her husband, and they don't do anything, and it's just a lovely, fun, flirtatious, cute relationship, and they have each other's backs. And even though like Madame Lafaux screws up big time in the fourth book, Alexia is able to be enough of a friend to call her out and be like, dude, you screwed up, like, what the heck, you don't have to be punished. You know, I like that they call each other out on their crap. I like that they support each other. There's just a good trio of women. Even though Hisselpenny and Madame Lafaux don't mix as well, Alexia is a great, like, tip of the triangle for them. I have to mention one of my favorite bromances ever, and that is between Joshua and Biff in Lamb, the Gospel According to Biff, Christ's childhood friend, because this bromance is the best. You know, I've noticed in life that sometimes men in particular just have like that one friend, and they have that friend for life, and they bond so easily. Joshua and Biff totally have that dynamic, and I think they're wonderful and hilarious in this book. These are Biff's recollections of Joshua, who is Jesus Christ, growing up and coming to his own following of Joshua, and it's hilarious and sarcastic and a parody on the Gospels, and I love it. It's so smart and wonderful, and their bro-ness is one of the best parts of it. Then I have to bring up one of my absolute favorite books ever, and that's City of Thieves. And in this book, two men, Lev and Koila, go on this journey to find the Russian police sergeant's daughter 2 dozen eggs for her wedding cake, because they've been arrested and Nazis have occupied Leningrad, and it's like this whole adventure. It's so tiny and so short. Lev and Koila, just how they talk to one another and relate to one another, and Lev's like kind of coming of age throughout this story, and Koila's way of helping him do that, because Koila's a little older and has had a little bit more experience, but he has his own secrets, and the way that Lev brings that out in him is just awesome. Then there's the wish list, which is about this girl named Meg who dies, and she is stuck right in the middle between going to heaven and going to hell. So they send her back to Earth to help this old man Lowry with his last wishes, before he dies. Meg and Lowry's relationship in this book is incredible. To me, it is redeeming and amazing, and again, two very, very flawed characters. This is supposed to be a middle reader book, but it's intense stuff talking about death and last regrets and last rites and how people handle this life that we have, this one life, and what is there afterwards. And yeah, there's some perspectives from angels and demons in it as well, because we are talking about heaven and hell in that sense of the afterlife. But I love this relationship between Meg and Lowry. Like, I still think about this book all the time. I need to freaking reread it. Then we have one of my favorite friendship stories that has no romance in it. There's like little sprinkles, tinkings of hints, but it's not important. And it's In a Handful of Dust by Mindy McGinnis, which has this relationship between Lucy and Lynn. And Lynn is technically Lucy's adoptive mother, but they're only like 10 years apart, so it's kind of Gilmore Girls-y in the sense of that they're really close in age and like kind of growing up together and whatever. But this book is fantastic because Lucy and Lynn live in this post-apocalyptic society where water is rare and there's not a lot of resources and the cities have been damaged, and Lucy supposedly is rumored to have contracted a disease and she's been banished from the town they're from, so they travel on foot all the way to California from Ohio, and it's about their journey across the United States and humanity and survival and growing up. And the two of them, the fact that they take this journey together and they don't kill each other is fantastic. And just their relationship as women, as strong, beautiful, amazing women who get through this hardship together. It's incredible. And last but not least, it's one of my favorite books. I named it as one of my favorite books of 2016, and Lily and Duncan by Donna Gephardt. And I love this book. I love this book for its friendship. At the center of this book is its friendship. Lily is a transgender girl. Duncan is a young boy who has bipolar disorder, and they meet and become friends and try and save a tree together. And it's endearing and beautiful and hard. Like, there are some things that both of them have to go through that are not easy. But what I love is that they do it inadvertently together, and you learn about both of their stories and how they just accept each other and love each other for who they are, and at this age, that's really hard to do. So I love it. Everybody should read it. Here are some of my favorite books that contain some of my favorite friendships. What are some books that you have read that contain some of your favorite friendships? I mean, like, I didn't include some obvious ones like Harry, Ron, and Hermione, duh. But these were ones that I think needed mentioning, so I mentioned them. Until next time, guys, bye! And I feel like that Biff and Joseph are the best. Joshua? Joseph? What the hell is his name? Joshua, damn it. Woo! Ooh, I almost lost some books there. So here are some of... Stay.